there's historical evidence Jesus existed? Let's debunk that right now. Step 1. The common Christian claim. Christians love to say, there are multiple sources outside the Bible that prove Jesus was real. They usually throw out names like Josephus, Tacitus, Suetonius, Pliny the Younger, Thallus, Lucian, Mara bar Serapion. But here's what they never tell you. None of these people met Jesus. Most of them wrote decades after his supposed death, and almost all of them were quoting what Christians themselves claimed, not what they witnessed. Let's break that down step by step. Step 2. Josephus, the favorite Christian source. Josephus was a Jewish historian born in 37 CE, after Jesus supposedly died. He never met Jesus. He wasn't a follower. The famous Testimonium Flavianum passage that mentions Jesus is known by historians to be a later Christian forgery, inserted into his work in the 3rd or 4th century. Even Christian scholars admit that paragraph was tampered with. So if the evidence had to be edited centuries later, that's not proof. That's manipulation. Step 3. Tacitus, another hearsay historian. Tacitus was a Roman senator and historian who wrote around 116 CE. He mentions Christus being executed under Pontius Pilate. Sounds promising, until you realize he didn't get that information from a government record. He got it from what Christians were already saying at the time. There are no Roman records of Jesus' crucifixion. None. And if this man performed miracles, raised the dead, shook the heavens, why was that never mentioned in official Roman archives? Step 4. Pliny the Younger. He was a Roman governor who wrote letters about Christians worshiping Christ around 112 CE. But again, he doesn't say he saw Jesus. He doesn't say he verified any of it. He's just describing what Christians believed, not what was real. You don't get to call that historical evidence. That's like saying Superman is real because a fan club exists. Step 5. Suetonius, Thallus, Lucian, and the rest. Let's be clear. Suetonius wrote a vague line about a disturbance caused by Chrestus, a common slave name, not a confirmed link to Jesus. Thallus was quoted by another writer, not directly, and never mentioned Jesus by name. Lucian mocked Christians and mentioned a crucified sage, but based on rumors, not facts. Mara bar Serapion talked about a wise king of the Jews. That's it. None of these are eyewitnesses. None say, I saw this man walk on water. None prove anything. Step 6. 0 contemporary eyewitnesses. Let's talk real evidence. There are no letters from anyone alive during Jesus' lifetime saying, I met him. No court records, no autopsy, no grave, no coins, no carvings, no statues, no personal writings, no verified eyewitness. Imagine a man performing miracles, feeding thousands, raising the dead, and not one historian in the entire Roman Empire wrote about him while he was alive? That doesn't add up. Step 7. The Bible is not a history book. Even if the Bible had historical locations, that doesn't make its characters real. Gotham is a real city in England. That doesn't mean Batman exists. Just like naming Egypt or Jerusalem in a book doesn't make Jesus real. We need independent evidence, and it doesn't exist. Step 8. Christianity had to invent the evidence to keep power. The early church didn't care about evidence. They cared about control. So they destroyed books, burned libraries, like Alexandria, demonized anyone who questioned, created holy relics and forged documents, forced belief through fear of hell. They weren't preserving truth. They were protecting their narrative. Step 9. Belief evidence. People confuse emotional belief with historical fact. They'll say, I feel him in my spirit. He changed my life. So many people believe, It must be true. But billions believe in Buddha, Krishna, Allah, Horus, Orisha, Thor. Belief doesn't make it historical. Step 10. If you have to lie, forge, and hype, it's not truth. The fact that Christians are still clinging to 7 weak, second-hand tampered sources just proves there is no real evidence. And if Jesus was truly divine, why is the truth about him so shaky, so edited, and so fragile? Truth doesn't need defending. It just is. Step 11. The Babylonian Talmud, 3rd, 5th century CE. Written centuries after Jesus supposedly lived. Mentions a man hanged on a tree on the eve of Passover. Could be anyone, definitely not contemporary proof. And even if it was, it still came from oral tradition, not eyewitness testimony. Awakening truth. The more they try to prove Jesus existed, the more they expose how weak the foundation is. If the truth needs forgery to survive, it was never truth to begin with.